What is going on, YouTube people? Today, we are going to head downtown. That is right. Downtowns from Optic Football are the talk of the internet. This started popping up this week because first off the line boxes began to get opened. And hobby boxes, I believe, released today. And what we are seeing so far is a little crazy. I pulled this from the old Eric Whitebach account, summarizing kind of what we've seen so far. Basically, about 2 dozen downtowns coming out of cases of first off the line. Absolutely wild stuff. We'll filter through these pictures here. Now, some of these are different parallels. There's black Pandoras, there's golds, there's bases, etc. But all these have come out of basically one case each for these breakers. And once again, this is first off the line, and that is a key distinction to keep in mind, that this is the juiced product, maybe, is what the internet is speculating. First off the line usually has some sort of extra parallel in it. They usually don't have like juiced case hits like this. So the question is, did they juice these to make first off the line super loaded and to get these out early so everyone sees this before hobby boxes go on sale and everyone runs and buys and builds a bunch of hype for hobby boxes, because hobby boxes of this product are not cheap. The other weird thing with Optic this year is the retail version has been out for a while. It's been out for almost a month already. And that's a little bit odd. I did just look. I pulled it up on the other screen here just because I was curious. Optic Football hobby boxes are going for $870 for one autograph. No CJ Stroud, by the way. A lot of those guys are Fanatics exclusive, so you're not really getting any of the good rookie autos in there. But basically $900 for a hobby box. And like I said, retail was kind of released early. Blasters, hobby box, or Blasters, mega boxes, etc. have been on the market for, it feels like a month plus already. So this product has been out there. And this is something I've been speculating Panini has been doing most of the year. They did similar things with basketball, where limited retail stock hits about a month before the hobby boxes. Whether this is an intentional or not, you could kind of see the playbook for it. Release a little bit of retail, get everyone's juices flowing, limit the supply. It's going to drive the prices wild. It'll drive demand wild for the singles and the wax, because there's just not that much on the market. So everyone freaks out. Oh my God, I need to rip some. Oh my God, I need this hollow. I need this silver, whatever. There's not a ton out there. It keeps prices high for about a month or so leading into the hobby release and the full retail release. That stuff hits the market and everyone goes nuts, and it delays that crash that we usually see where, singles come out, they're extremely high, and then they immediately go way down because a bunch of inventory floods the market. They're kind of staggering it out. And like I said, maybe this is just their logistics being all screwy. Maybe I'm overthinking all this, but it is at least a side effect of this, whether it's intentional or not. And they did the same thing with Optic Football. And now we're seeing these first off the line boxes coming out absolutely juiced a couple days before hobby boxes release. So if you want to get your tinfoil hat, I don't think you have to reach very far for this. These are absolutely insane numbers for a very popular card. Panini kind of has 3 staple inserts that people really, really chase: the Kabooms, the Color Blasts, and the Downtowns. People have varying different degrees on which one they like better. I actually prefer Color Blast, which I think on the market is the least popular of the 3. I believe Kabooms are pretty much the consensus number 1, and then Downtowns, and then Color Blast, but you might get mixed messaging on 2 and 3. The Kabooms definitely seem to be the most popular for sure. And there was also optics out of regular Donruss. Don't forget about that. There are two different versions of Downtowns. There is the Donruss version and there is the Optic version. I believe the Optic one has the little lasers in the background of it, whereas the regular Donruss ones do not. So I was curious, what does the pop count on these look like over the last couple of years since these kind of hit the market? So what do we do when we need pop report data? You reach out to our old friend GemRate. So GemRate ran me a custom report, every Optic Downtown football card. I glanced through this, then downloaded it in a spreadsheet and did a little bit of filtering and did some adding up. And what I did was I wanted to look at just base because I didn't want to include gold vinyls and black Pandoras and all that. I just kind of wanted to use base as a general idea to see where things have been going. And this is all graded cards. So this is PSA 10s, PSA 9s, SGC 10s, BGSs, everything. This is everything that's on the population report. So a couple notes here. On the left-hand side, you see the checklist size because that is one thing that changed. In the early days, it was a 20-card checklist, then it went to 40. I included base, and then I also included the base for the Super Bowl and the International because the last couple of years, they have like a 10-card Super Bowl, a 10-card International, and a 20-card base, but they're all base cards. I didn't include any black vinyl or black Pandoras, gold vinyls, golds, any of that stuff. So what we kind of see as we run through here, 2018, there's 2,800-ish on the population report. 2019, it drops down to 635. My speculation here isn't so much print runs, but a little bit of the checklist itself. 2018 had a juiced quarterback class. That was Baker. That was Lamar. That was Sam Darnold. That was at the time, an absolutely juiced quarterback class. Josh Allen was in there. 2019 is basically just Kyler Murray. So I can see why the checklist might have dropped off a little bit. I also don't think 2019 was printed as heavily because of the non-fancy checklist, basically is what it comes down to. Now, 2020, it jumps to a 40-card checklist. So we're obviously going to have a big increase there to 5,600. Also a very good quarterback checklist. 2021 goes absolutely wild. Still a 40-card checklist, 14,000 on the population report. I don't know why 2021 is so high. My guess here is this is peak pandemic. We are really in the thick of it. Prices are to the moon and back again on pretty much everything. 2021 was a very hyped class. That's Trevor Lawrence. Justin Fields is in there, I believe, and a handful of others. 2021, very, very popular class. And like I said, absolute peak pandemic. So that's when people were going the most crazy. If we filter back over here to GemRate's report, you can see 2021 is the number one. If I search by total on the pop report, it is by far and away the highest. We got Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, Justin Fields, Jamar Chase, Josh Allen. All these are 400 plus. So 2021 downtowns are the least rare of everything. We're all the way down here, almost 10 or 15 cards deep before we see the first non-2021, and it's a Joe Burrow in his rookie year at 312. So 2021, definitely a little bit of an outlier on things. 2022, things kind of fall back in the line. We're at around 5,000 on the total pop report, actually slightly under 2020. Now, 2023. Remember, we have only had about a month or two worth of retail on the market. Hobby boxes and probably still a lot of other retail has not hit yet. A lot of this stuff is also probably still sitting at PSA. We are at just under 2,000 already. We're at 1,800 already on 2022 stuff. And that's a little scary considering what I just laid out. Basically a retail preview. A lot of this stuff still going through the grading food chain, if you will. It's kind of still making its way through the various grading companies, and we're at just under 2,000. And now you're seeing stuff like this happening, and none of this stuff is at the population report yet. I don't know how many cases of first off the line that they make. I think it's around a few thousand. But if they're pulling out 25 per, now I will say of that 25, probably 3/4 of those are base. Looks like there's some black Pandoras in there. Looks like there's some golds in there. There's gold vinyl 101s, etc. But a majority of them are base. So let's say, I don't know, 15 out of the 25 conservatively are base. That's a lot right there. And we haven't even had hobby boxes yet. This is just first off the line. So it appears, and this will be something going forward now, that I probably will just kind of keep a casual eye on every once in a while. You know, maybe monthly when GemRate does his numbers or something, we'll look to see where the 2023 downtown pop count is at. But it clearly seems like they have watered this down to some degree or another. Once again, this isn't a case of breakers getting loaded cases or anything. It seems like every case of first off the line is like this when you're seeing this many, or at least a decent portion of them are. Now, once hobby releases in full, let's see what those look like. Are we getting 25 downtowns out of a case of hobby? If that's the case, look out. The pop counts will explode. I guess the biggest thing that I could tell you is if you've hit a 2023 downtown and it's in the process of getting graded, or you just got it back from grading, there might be a lot more coming. This might be a case where you play a little game of hot potato, do what makes sense for you. But I don't know that I would want to be holding 23 downtowns if I got one of the early ones back from grading. I think I might be trying to move off that thing as fast as possible before people put the puzzle pieces together on this. Because at least on its face value, this looks a little scary. Now, we'll see where it goes. We'll see what happens when everyone starts ripping into their hobby boxes this week. But boy, oh boy, $900 a box for Don Russ Optic Hobby. Yikes. Yikes. That is so expensive for Optic. That's ridiculous. Like, I like Optic too. I really do. But that is absolutely wild. So be careful out there, folks. Downtowns might not be the super rare case hit that we used to think they were. So is this, what do we all think? Is this an outlier because it's first off the line? Are they purposely juicing these to drum up demand for hobby? Have they gone the way of Select? And what they did with Select, they murdered our kid. They murdered our baby, our poor baby boy Select. They took it out back in the pandemic and absolutely killed it, taking it retail. Is this a situation like that where they're like, hey man, you want downtowns? We're going to give you downtowns. Because guess what? We don't ultimately care. We got another year or two with the money machine turned on. The money tree out back, it's still going good right now. Football cards are falling off of it, little boxes. But the tree dies in 2026 when Fanatics takes over. So are they just saying, you want Optic downtowns? Here you go. We're going to give you we're going to give the people what they want. We're going to print it to the moon. Hope they don't really figure it out, or hope they don't care. And we're just going to rake it in as much as we possibly can, even if we have to water down everything. That could definitely be an angle here as well. Because remember, this was one of the fears when Fanatics was getting everything. Panini has no vested interest in doing anything for the longevity of cards. They want to maximize profits to the most that they possibly can because they're losing the license anyway. So why not? Hey, juice the hell out of these things. We'll sell a crap ton of them. Maybe it's a little bit of that. Maybe it's a little bit of everything. Maybe it's nothing and a bunch of cases of first off the line happen to be juiced and everything's going to be back to normal. I doubt that last one. Time will tell. As always, curious for your thoughts and comments down below. Catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.